I'm Joan Jones, and welcome back. We're going to do the second part of our Fusible Applique. The first part was from the actual selection of the fusible material all the way up to applying it and cutting out the pieces of fabric that have already had the fusing on them. Now, from here on out, what we're going to do is we're going to use a Teflon pressing sheet for applique. It's a Teflon nylon type material, and it can be used over and over again, and if it gets dirty you just wipe it clean with a piece of paper toweling. So it's a great investment, and what you do is the section of our pattern that has pattern layout, you're going to take those sheets, tape them together, and just like you can see under here, we have the actual drawing of this little bird, which is part of the snowman, the Frosty and Friends snowman pattern. So it's all together, has all of the numbers, and if we follow along, let's just say this G8 dark red bird tail here. If you look up to where we cut it out, you can see the piece here. So what you're going to do is put your Teflon sheet, pin it over your layout diagram, and you can still see through it. I don't know if you can see on the camera, but you can see through it. And you're going to lay your pieces out numerically on here. It'll be a little tacky. They'll stick together fine, especially if you use the Steam Seam heavy version. Light will be less apt to stick firmly, but you'll still be able to work with it. And you put put them down numerically. In this particular place, there's all the birds are G, and then we're going from the numbers all the way up until we get everything laid out on the applique. Then we're going to take that applique sheet. You can take it off the drawing, take it to your ironing board, and press the fusible directly to the Teflon sheet. It will stick, but don't fear, because when it cools down, all you have to do is peel this back off. You peel it off as one complete unit. And you can then take your background fabric and apply it and press it again. You can press it over and over again. It will still stick. The fusible is still on the fabric. This Teflon does not remove it. And then you can fuse it directly to your background. If you're looking at this larger quilt, even though the sheet that we carry is 18 by 20, it's a fairly large sheet. You may want to do this in section. For instance, you could fuse all the pieces for his head together on the Teflon, peel it off, fuse the stomach of the snowman, peel it off, maybe this whole section with the birds, peel it off, and then you're going to lay them over each other. And you can always use your layout diagram and then attach them to each other and apply them to the background completely. Now, after it's applied, everyone wonders where the stitching comes in. Do I stitch the edges? And I do not. When this is all fused to the background, that's when I go to make the quilt sandwich, which is the top layer with the design, the batting, and the backing of the fabric of the quilt itself. After it's a quilt sandwich and pinned or based, however you want to do it. And I recommend machine quilting anything that's fusible. It's very hard to get through with a needle. If you plan to do hand quilting, you definitely have to use the light. And so after we have our quilt sandwich done, that's when we actually stitch the edges all the way around, whatever the design, and you're going towards the edge, and that's definitely going to hold it on there, and it can be washed. You can do whatever design you want. In this particular case, we stippled. And I hope this is helpful, and stop back for another video.